Monday morning. No warning. No countdown clock. Marvel just drops the first full trailer for Avengers Doomsday, and the internet has not been the same since. 10 million views before lunch. Dr. Doom talking for the first time on camera. Steve Rogers walking out of the dark like he never left. And somehow, in the middle of all that, half of Marvel Twitter is arguing about whether the movie looks good at all. That is the story today. Not just what is in this trailer, what it means, what people are missing, and why the reaction online is more divided than you would expect for the biggest crossover Marvel has ever attempted. I read every breakdown. I went through the fan reactions. I compared this to the marketing for Infinity War and Endgame. And I'm going to walk you through what actually matters here, because there's a lot of noise around this trailer and not enough signal. Let's get into it. First, some groundwork, because this movie has had a strange road to get here. Avengers Doomsday was originally announced under a different name entirely. It was going to be Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, targeting a May 2025 release. Then the studio quietly moved it to May 2026. Then it moved again, this time to December 18th, 2026, where it currently sits. 2 delays for a movie this size is not unusual. What is unusual is why. Reports point to one simple reason. The cast list kept growing. This is not a small ensemble film. This is the Russo brothers, the same directors behind Infinity War and Endgame, trying to fit 3 separate hero teams into one story. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and for the first time in MCU history, the X-Men. Filming wrapped in September of 2025, with additional shoots happening well into this year. That alone tells you the scope of what they are assembling. And now, less than a year before release, the marketing machine is finally in motion. Let's break down the footage itself, because there is a lot packed into a few minutes. The trailer opens on Earth, 6/16, the main MCU timeline. We get an aerial shot of New York, with Avengers Tower now rebranded. It has a new name and a new team living in it. Sam Wilson's new Avengers, including Bucky, Yelena, Joaquin Torres, and a returning Ant-Man. Thor narrates most of the trailer. Chris Hemsworth's voiceover talks about losing comrades, watching heroes fall, and facing something bigger than anything before it. That framing matters. Thor has been the emotional anchor of every major Avengers trailer since Infinity War, and Marvel is clearly using that formula again. Then we get first contact between teams. The Fantastic Four meet the Wakandans, with Ben Grimm and Baku sharing a lighter moment. Shuri, suited up as Black Panther, faces off against Namor and his Talokan army. Loki appears briefly, now established as a multiversal figure after his Disney Plus finale, though his exact role is kept vague. We also get our first extended look at the X-Men. Rebecca Romijn returns as Mystique. James Marsden is back as Cyclops. Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen reprise Professor X and Magneto. This is not a cameo. This is the Fox X-Men universe colliding directly with the main MCU timeline, something fans have wanted since Disney acquired Fox back in 2019. And then there is Dr. Doom. Robert Downey Jr. speaks on camera for the first time as Victor Von Doom, and he does it in a deliberate Eastern European accent, a direct nod to Doom's comic book origins in the fictional country of Latveria. This is the first time any adaptation of the character has leaned into that detail. Doom warns the heroes they are facing what he calls an unthinkable decision, almost certainly referencing the incursions first introduced in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The trailer's biggest moment comes near the end. Thor, holding Mjolnir, says he needs a miracle. A voice responds. He turns around, and Steve Rogers steps into the light. Chris Evans is back as Captain America, and the hammer flies straight into his hand, confirming instantly that he is still worthy. That single shot is doing a lot of work. It is nostalgia, it is a callback to Endgame, and it is a signal that this movie is not just introducing new heroes. It is bringing back the ones people grew up with. Here is where it gets fun, because trailer breakdowns online have picked up on some details that are easy to miss on a single watch. Inside the new Avengers Tower, there is a background shot showing 3 connected globes. Comic readers have pointed out this directly mirrors panels from Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers comic run, where 3 universes are shown colliding before an incursion event. If that visual is intentional, and it almost certainly is. It confirms the film is drawing heavily from that source material for its plot structure. Second detail. When Thor throws Stormbreaker at Doom, Doom catches it with 2 fingers. That is not just a power flex. It is a direct callback to Infinity War, where Thanos caught the exact same weapon and used it to kill half the universe. The trailer is telling you, without saying it out loud, that Doom is being set up as a threat on that same scale or bigger. Third, when Steve Rogers steps out of the shadows, he has long hair and a beard, almost frame for frame, matching his entrance in Infinity War during the Edinburgh scene. That is either a clever piece of fan service or a hint that time travel or multiversal shenanigans are involved in how he returns. We don't know yet. Fourth, Loki is shown holding a TVA identification card, and it now has a multiversal tree symbol on the back. That connects his Season 2 finale, where he sacrificed himself to hold the timelines together, directly into this movie's central conflict. None of these are things Marvel confirmed in a press release. These are details fans dug out of a 2-minute trailer, frame by frame. That is either an incredibly well-crafted piece of marketing, or Marvel is leaving breadcrumbs on purpose to keep people talking. Probably both. Now here is the part most channels are not going to tell you honestly, and I think it is the most interesting part of this whole story. The reaction to this trailer is split. On one side, you have people thrilled by the scale of it. Steve Rogers returning, the X-Men finally sharing a frame with the Avengers, Dr. Doom speaking for the first time. For longtime fans, this trailer delivers on a decade of setup. On the other side, a large number of viewers are calling the trailer underwhelming. Some of the criticism online points to the pacing, saying the footage feels like a series of disconnected moments rather than a coherent story. Other comments compare it unfavorably to the original Infinity War teaser, which built tension slowly instead of showing everything at once. There is also a recurring complaint that after years of expanding the MCU into a sprawling web of timelines and alternate universes, the stakes feel diluted rather than heightened. One comparison going around online used a cooking competition analogy, describing the trailer as tasting, in their words, corporate. That is a blunt way of putting it, but it captures a real sentiment. A portion of the audience feels like this trailer prioritizes spectacle and character cameos over an actual sense of tension or threat. Both reactions are valid, and honestly, that split makes sense. Doomsday is trying to satisfy 3 separate fanbases at once. Original Avengers fans, Fantastic Four fans, and X-Men fans who have waited over 20 years to see their characters interact with the wider Marvel Universe. Pleasing all 3 groups in one trailer without overwhelming casual viewers is close to impossible, and you can see that tension play out in how differently people are responding. Step back for a second, because there is context here that a lot of coverage is skipping. This trailer landed just days before Marvel's Hall H panel at San Diego Comic-Con on July 25th. Historically, Marvel saves its biggest reveals for that stage. Releasing a full trailer beforehand instead of waiting is a shift in strategy, and it suggests the studio wanted to get ahead of ticket sales rather than wait for a bigger live reveal. Speaking of tickets, they are already on sale, and Marvel is pushing something called Infinity Vision, a premium format for select theaters designed to make this the biggest possible theatrical event. There is also the release date itself to consider. Avengers Doomsday shares its December 18th date with Dune Part 3, a scheduling collision fans have nicknamed Doomsday. Despite plenty of speculation that one of the 2 films would move, this trailer firmly locks in the December date, meaning Marvel is choosing to go head-to-head rather than step aside. And this is only half the story. Doomsday sets up Avengers Secret Wars, the follow-up film that will conclude this saga in 2027, with filming reportedly starting this summer. Whatever happens in December is designed to be a bridge, not a final destination. Where does that leave us? Avengers Doomsday is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious crossovers Marvel has ever attempted, combining 3 separate hero lineups from 3 different eras of the franchise into a single story. The marketing so far has leaned hard into nostalgia, comic accuracy, and scale, and it has succeeded in generating conversation, even if that conversation is mixed. Whether the criticism about pacing and coherence is fair will not really be answerable until we see a longer cut or the film itself. Teaser trailers are built to generate reactions, not to tell a complete story, And this one is doing exactly what it was designed to do, for better or worse. What we do know is this. December 18th is locked in. The Hall H panel this weekend will likely reveal more. And based on how much people are already dissecting a 2-minute trailer frame by frame, this movie is going to dominate conversation for the rest of the year regardless of which side of the reaction you land on. If you want a full breakdown of the Secret Wars connections, or a deeper look at how the X-Men fit into this new timeline, let me know in the comments, and I will put one together next. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.